Hi everyone, I am D. Muniswamy, working as a study professor in economics, Bijar Government Degree College. Okay, today I want to discuss about the what is called what is good average. Okay, what is good average and what are the properties of that good average? Otherwise, we can say what is average and what are the characters will have the for the good average. Okay, this is what I am going to discuss today for you. Okay, here the average means, of course, we discussed many times. The average nothing but it is a single value derivating from the whole data. Okay, it is a single value representing the whole data or given data in the distribution. Okay, see, since an average is a single value representing a group of values, okay, a group of values, it is desired that such a value satisfies the following the properties or the characters. Okay, see, based on that single value, we are describing the whole data. Okay, we are expressing the whole data. Okay, we are expressing the complete the characters of that group. Okay, see, for example, in a classroom there are 50 students. Okay, if there are the 50 students in the classroom, so if I say that um, the average marks of this student is 60%. So nothing but that word will express about that whole classroom. See, all the students may not get 60% of the marks. Some students may got 70% or 80%, or some students may got only 40%. But on the whole, we are saying that what is called okay, on the whole we are saying that the class is good, class percent is average. Okay, that is it is describing the whole class. So that's why, since an average is a value, a single value representing the whole data or the group of values, it is desired that such a value should be satisfied some characters, some properties. Then only it may called good average. Okay, so if the single value may not be represented the whole data, whole the values, that may not be good average, what we can say. See, these are the some important characters we can say that. So if the average is having the majority of these characters, so then only we can say that this is called what is called good average, what you can say. See, among them some important average characters. Okay, we can say that the good average should be based on all the observations. So whatever the value we are getting, that is a single value for value which should be represented the whole data. So that's why, so where all the data are used to give best result, so it should be that single value should give the best result, whereas the averages which use less data are not representative of the whole group. So it should be representative of the whole group. So if the value is not representing the whole group, so that value so is not a good average. See, for example, here out of the 50 students in the classroom, around 30 students nearly got 95 marks out of 100 marks, But around 10 students got around 70 marks, around 5 students got 60 marks, and around 5 students may got around 30 marks. So this shows that average you may get around 70 marks, 70% we can get. But this 70% may not be representing these 5 people. Okay, exactly. So that's why that means here the varies. Whatever we got the single value to represent the whole data, so that single value is not representing the students who got the least marks. So that in that way we may not say that it may not be good average. So that is the point. And the second character is good average should not be what is called a good average should not be unduly affected by the extreme values. Just now I told you. Okay, now we got around 70% marks out of for the 50 students. So because of this extreme values, who got the 95% marks around 30 students. So since 30 to more than 30 students got 90 or 95% of the marks, so because of this, this value is affecting the students who are getting the even least marks also. Okay, that is the thing here. So if one or two very small or very large items unduly affected the averages, okay, then the average cannot be really typical of the entire group. For example, so there are two students in the classroom. Let's say example. So one student got 90 marks out of 100, but one student got only 20 marks out of 100. So then what is the average? So the average marks, it will be 55. So because of this 90% marks who got the student A, because of that student, so A, the B got 55%. Okay, and because of the B who got only 20% of the marks, so because of this B student, this effect, this negative effect was there on the candidate of A. So like because of this extreme values, it may be too small, it may be too large. So if these values will be influenced the averages, so it will not be good. So it will not be represent the whole data. So based on that, we may not describe the average, okay, exactly what we can say. Okay, that is the problem we can see. Okay, at the same time, say the good average should be easy to calculate and simple to understand. Okay, so whatever the average is very easy to calculate, so and easy to understand even the layman, it will be very easy. Take a person, if the calculation of an average involves too much mathematical process, it will not be easily understood, and its use will be limited only to a limited number of persons. Okay, this average cannot be popular average. It should be easy to understand. So here, if to estimate the average, if you have the too much of the calculation, for example, so if we estimate the average through geometric mean, so it is like it is somewhat difficult for to understand the common man. Even the students, even educated persons also, without knowing the log values to estimate the average, it will be very difficult. Say, for example, if it is arithmetic mean, comparatively geometric mean and harmonic mean, so arithmetic mean is very easy to calculation. Okay, it is very easy to calculation. So and it is very easy to understand even the layman also. Okay, like so that's why the arithmetic mean became very popular than the remaining what is called remaining averages. Okay, the arithmetic mean it became very most important averages. Okay, so generally the common man will understand average is nothing but arithmetic mean. They don't know about the remaining averages. Majority people they don't know. Okay, even some of the educated people also. So if they want to calculate the average for any given value, so immediately they will go for the arithmetic mean only first. Okay, so that's why it became very popular because it is very easy to calculation. So it is a very easy formula. If it is individual series, simply we are going to add it together and dividing with their number, and we are getting some value. Okay, that is the point what we are going to see in this particular cases. Okay, at the same time, okay, a good average should be capable of further algebraic treatment. So whatever the average, we are saying that if you say it is a good average, it should be capable, it should be efficient of further algebraic treatment. Like, see, measures of the central tendency are the used in many other techniques of statistical analysis, like measures of dispersion, correlation, even index numbers also. Actually, it's the central tendencies, central tendency values or central values like arithmetic mean, okay, geometric mean, harmonic mean, even median, mode. So all these are called central values. Okay, whenever we are using these central values, okay, if you understand these central values easily, automatically, so because of the easily understanding of these central values, okay, definitely it will be base or easy to calculate the dispersions or deviations, like standard deviation or range, okay, or quartile deviation, standard deviation, mean deviation, even correlation, regression analysis, time series, index numbers. In all these cases, definitely the averages calculation is more. Okay, without understanding the averages, we may not calculate easily the remaining statistical process in the further the chapters like deviations, correlation, regression, time series analysis, and what is called index number, so etc. All these are depending on the completely on the averages. Okay, averages like that. The good average should be found by graphic methods also. Okay, whatever the averages can be estimated through graphic, so that will be very what is called easy to describe it. Okay, so that average is considered a good average which can be found by arithmetic as well as the graphic method also. Normal distribution, all these are based on the mean only, mean, geometric mean, like median, mode, like that. So along with arithmetic or mathematical averages or whatever may be averages of position, so if we are able to understand these averages based on the diagrammatic base, okay, so that will be very easy. That will be called a good average. So that almost in the concept of the skewness and kurtosis, so we can see this type of the analysis there only, that is called skewness and kurtosis. Okay, there we are going to understand this type of the analysis only we are going to be see. Okay, anyway, see that good average should not be affected by variations of the sampling. Okay, whenever we are talking about the averages, generally there will be sample. Okay, if, through that sample it should not be affected. So that means without taking the average value by taking the through samples, So if we take the average value based on all observations, based on the all values, it will be very good average, what we can say. A good average will be least affected by the sampling fluctuations. If a few samples are taken from the same universe, the average should be such as the least variations in the values derived in the individual samples. The results obtained will be considered to be the true representative of the universe in this particular cases. But sometimes whenever there is a huge data, to estimate the average, to take the result from all the involvement or data may not be possible. For example, the estimation of the inflation. Okay, through index numbers, actually we are going to estimate the index numbers of the inflation rate. Okay, to estimate the inflation, actually we have to observe the changes of the prices in the of all commodities and in all areas, because the prices of the commodities may not be same in all areas. Okay, it will be variation from place to place, your village to village, or but district to district, state to state. So that's why in this particular cases we are going for the sampling method. Okay, based on the sampling, we are going to select some villages or some commodities in some areas. Based on that, we are estimating the index numbers. So averages we are estimating. So sometimes it is required, but if the data is less, okay, if the data is less, it is better to take involve the all observations. Then only we will get good averages. Okay. So otherwise we will get approximately averages. Okay. Through sample method, if we get averages, that is called a sampling method only, sample averages only. Okay. So that's why all observations involvement is more important. It is more important or required. Like the good average should not be affected by skewness. Okay. What is skewness and what is kurtosis, all these things we will discuss in the later. Okay. So here we will not call an average good one if it is affected by the skewness present in the distribution. Okay. So what if the distribution is affected or average value is affected through skewness or kurtosis, whatever it may be, so that the type of averages may not be good, what I am saying actually. Okay, this is the point of exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so what is kurtosis we'll discuss later. Okay, just your mind it, good average should not be affected by the skewness. That is the point you try to remember. Okay, good average should be popular. Okay, the popular average should become a good average. When it will become average, when it will be easily understood by all the people, when it is very easy to estimated the value, so then only it's called a good value. So that's why the good average. So a popular average which is known to common people will be more useful, as a simple person will be able to understand it, whatever I told you. So otherwise it's it will be limited to higher sections of the people only. Okay, if the common people are not able to understand, so it will be available to only some people, higher section of the people, or more educated people, or the subject experts people, like that. So since see, for example, arithmetic mean almost it is a simple to calculation. So that's why even non-economic students or non-statistic students also they are able to find the average values. Okay, that is the point. Okay, like see, the good average should have a clear and stable definition. So whatever the average value we are saying, that it should be stable and it should be clear definition. A good average should have a clear and stable definition. See, averages may be estimated through arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, even mode, median, and we have 5 methods already, so we know many times. So if we get the same value from all the methods, that value is very rigid value. Okay, the type of average is very perfect. It is very good. And good average should be absolute number. Okay, the good average should have the absolute number. So, absolute in the character. So it should not be changed. It should not be approximate value. It should be a direct value. Okay, sometimes so 73.3333 like that you will get it. So that may not be good average like that. 73.33 enough. So that value gives the perfect value. Otherwise 73, that's all. Okay, 73. So value nothing but it is a good value. Like a good average should be possible to find central tendency for open end class intervals. Okay, in many distributions, ends are open. Okay, ends are open. Like say up to 100, then 100 to 200. Okay, 200 to 300, 300 to 400, 400 to 500, 400 to 500, and 500 above. 500 above means maybe 1000 is also called a 500 above, or 1 lakh is also called above 500. Okay, this is known as the end class. So in that distribution, ends are open. So a good average is one which can be calculated even in open end class intervals. So whenever there is a open class intervals, so if we are able to estimate the average value in that end values also, end class intervals also, that type of average is good, what we are going to say here. And good average should be rigidly defined. It should not be changed regularly. So there should be no confusion. There should not be any confusion. So about the meaning of or description of average, so it must have a what is called a rigid, what we can say. Okay, so it is called a rigid. Okay, like it must have a rigid or to the point of definition. Okay, where it is exactly, it is at 74 or 75. So that exactly point we have to say. So that means whatever I am saying here. So already I discussed one character, like good average should be absolute number, what I can do, and the good average should have the clear and stable definition, and the good average should be a rigid definition. See, all these type of the definitions, the characters almost will be discussed with same value. Okay, so like whenever we are discussing about this averages, okay, averages, these are the some important characters we can observe in the what is called averages. So like when you are talking about averages, it will be simple to calculate, already I told you. Okay, so the extreme and the least value should not be affected. So like sampling what is called stability. So the here when we are talking about the averages, we should not prefer to get a value which as what the statisticians call sampling what is called stability. Okay, this means that if you pick 10 different groups of the college students, um, about students, and compute the what is called average of one each group, we should expect to get approximately the same value. It does not mean, however, that there can be no difference in the values of the different samples. There may be some different, but those samples in which this difference, but particularly, so that technically it may be called sampling fluctuation, is less or considered better than those in which this differences is more. So like that, whenever we are talking about these differences, it should not be affected with some sampling, what I am saying here. Okay, here, like that, we have some characters when we are discussing about these averages. So here, whatever the averages which are having the above characters or properties, that averages can be defined as the good average. Okay, good average, what we can say. So otherwise, say if the average is satisfied majority the properties what we discussed above, so that averages may be discussed as the what is called good averages. So here, when we are talking about the averages, so we many people we know that so we have the 5 types of averages like arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, mode, median, etc. So among them, actually, the arithmetic mean is one of the most popular averages. Okay, because here all these characters will applicable to the arithmetic mean. Since all the type of the averages are applicable to the arithmetic mean, so this arithmetic mean is discussed or considered as a good arithmetic mean, what you can say. Okay, these averages already I told you. Okay, average means, again I am saying that it is a single value that representing a group of values. Such value is a great significance. Why it is having the great significance? Because it is representing the whole data, whole classroom, whole observations. So because it is depicts the characters of the whole group. Okay, these averages can be classified into 5 categories, like arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, median, and mode. But out of these first 3, that is arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and harmonic mean, are called mathematical averages, and median and mode will be called position averages of position or positional averages. Okay, these are the how. Okay, out of this one, see the again I'm saying that arithmetic mean is one of the most popular method because it will be easy to understand. It will be used in the many ways, index numbers, in all ways. Yeah, we are going to use so this type of the method. So that's why it became very popular, very popular averages in the statistics. Okay, so see, try to understand the theoretical part also. Okay, we discussed the many times what about the averages and how we are going to calculate these averages. So in different methods. Okay, in each and every method, we have shortcut method, we have direct method. Okay, like we have individual series, we have continuous series, we have about discrete series in all these averages. Okay, so try to understand what is average and what is the objectives of the averages, and what is called what is the characters of the averages, and okay, we are also going to be discussed what is the importance of the averages, from each and every average. What are the merits and even the demerits of the averages of each and every also, okay, we are going to be discussed in the next classes. See, about the problematic issues we already discussed. Okay, so if you missed to listen these videos, okay, try to subscribe this YouTube channel. Definitely you will get all these old videos. Okay, we discussed, I posted how to calculate the arithmetic mean through individual series, discrete series, and continuous series in direct method, and what is called indirect method or step deviation method. And also I posted the videos related to median, mode, geometric mean, and harmonic mean, and how calculate the log values or anti-log values. So all these things already I posted in there and there. So that's why you try to what is called subscribe the channel. You will get all these particular videos. Okay, thank you.